Hey guys, I'm SonOfAPluto and this is Pluto MMA, where I'll be talking about MMA. I have a whole separate channel with gaming, funny moments, reactions, and some movie reviews on like the YouTube Shorts end of everything. But I wanted to make a channel specifically about MMA because honestly, gaming is kind of dying. I got some videos I can still make funny moments wise and might start doing streaming on there, but that channel will be linked in the description below if you want to check it out. But today we're going to be focusing on Conor McGregor and talking about MMA in general on this channel. But let's talk about Conor McGregor. Like I said, Conor McGregor has done a few things recently that made me like super upset, and I made a couple TikToks, which you can go follow me on there, by the way, for like multiple uploads a day. But Conor McGregor's made several tweets recently regarding certain things. I want to talk about them. It's made me want to go on a rant. So Conor McGregor makes this tweet on the 25th of September, along with some others, saying $100 million to fight at the White House, along with 100 U.S. quote golden visas for myself, family, and friends. I look very forward to entertaining the fighting world once again, a pleasure I never take for granted. So we had this situation before with Tom Aspinall where John Jones was asking for a high amount. In that situation, John Jones was asking for like what, 30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, and although the UFC agreed to it, he wants 3x that, over that. He wants over 3 times that amount to fight at the White House. They're making $1.1 billion a year. He wants 100 million of that all to himself. What makes Conor McGregor think? And also, let's talk about this really quick. 100 golden visas? A golden visa is not... I don't see what's so important about these golden visas he wants to talk about. Because from what it sounds like, you're just like resident by investment. So these guys have to put in money. You're not useful in any other way unless you put an investment in. From what it sounds like, I don't get why 100... Like, I can't even name 100 people I'd be putting on this list. I can name maybe 20... and some of them are like very like, you know what I mean, they don't really deserve it, but like they are just a part of the circle at one point. I can't name 100 people that deserve that I would like add into something like this, although Conor McGregor's a very popular guy. I guess it makes sense, but what's the point of the golden visas? Also, $100 million to fight. Now if he's just talking, which I feel like he is, but what makes him think he deserves $100 million? People, I asked this on Twitter, and people brought up like, oh, but all the pay-per-view sales that he's had, they're about to go to a non-pay-per-view system. They're about to go to a non-pay-per-view system where they're, because at this point it'll be June 2026, a part of the Paramount deal, where there is no pay-per-view. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to put pay-per-view for that event either, because it's going to be so huge that they're going to attempt to, I think they might even stream it on regular TV, because they have like another deal where they're still going to be streaming stuff on not CBS, but something like that, one of those three-lettered channels. Anyway, you're asking for $100 million when at this point, let's go to his... He has not done anything noteworthy. He came back and fought Donald Cerrone in 2020. The last one he got was over 5.5 years ago. And he is lucky that this card is happening in June now instead of July, or else it would be, as you can see, nearly 5 years since he fought. And the last 2 times that he fought got completely dusted by Dustin Poirier, and then goes on to have another fight where he gets leg injury. What makes you think, as the guy who is only coming off of a bunch of recent losses, who has done nothing in the past few years, what makes you think that you deserve to have something like this, $100 million for your name? You think that your name is worth that anymore still, despite all the stuff that you've been through, all of the, the sniffles that Conor's had the sniffles a lot in his past. We've seen the training footage, which I have here, does not, that's a whole separate thing. But this doesn't look impressive. None of this stuff looks impressive to me. I thought the White House was your right nostril. See, like, you know what I mean? This guy doesn't have a reputation anymore. And a lot of people are going to be stuck on Conor McGregor's past and how, they're going to be so stuck on the past and how great he was in his time, and not see, like, hey, nowadays, we don't even know if Conor McGregor can perform. It's been, like, nearly 5 years at this point whenever he gets back in the octagon. He's coming off of one of the worst leg injuries to have that Chris Weidman had. Chris Weidman had this same exact leg injury, and we saw how his career went afterwards. I know people with this leg injury. It like hurts your life so significantly that Conor McGregor shouldn't even be fighting, and Chris Weidman shouldn't have fought after that leg injury. That's how significant this leg injury is. So we're coming off of a back-to-back loss to Dustin Poirier, who's now retired. He's coming off of that leg injury, off of having the sniffles, and also all that legal stuff he's been going against. His name is basically not as big as people thought anymore. A bunch of the casual fan base, and of course he's still going to be a big name. But there's so much like conversation around this White House card, like, oh, Conor McGregor is going to be the main event. I hope not. There's people that have been working harder in those 5 years. We've had so many changes with champions and stuff like that in 5 years. And we will have more changes with champions, runner-ups, and stuff like that. That it's not even worth putting Conor McGregor as the front person because there's no pay-per-views. If they actually attempt to promote the White House card, then hey, you put Conor McGregor in a bunch of that promotion work. And then you don't have to worry about like, what if people don't know about Conor McGregor? We have to put him at the main event. No, we don't. There's going to be bigger names at that point. I would rather see Tom Aspinall versus Derek Lewis as the main event and have Conor McGregor as the pre-co-main event because there should be at least 2 championship fights on this card. There should be 3. I think there should be 3. We haven't had 3 in a long time. I can't remember the last time that we had 3, but it's been a minute. We've had like in the recent or in the upcoming months, we're gonna have like 2 on some cards and stuff like that, some pay-per-views. But still, there is no reason for Conor McGregor to come back after 5 years and get a main spot, a main card spot. Well, he can get a main card spot, but not the main event spot. I don't care what you say about the pay-per-views. Doesn't matter anymore. Pay-per-view doesn't exist. It's basically dead by the time he gets back in here. He's been gone for so long that pay-per-views won't exist by the time he comes back. Right? So that's the whole issue with this, is that he's going to ruin the White House card, or he's going to attempt to. Also, one, he's not worth $100 million anymore. No way. What are you doing with 100 golden visas? That sounds like criminal activity. And I hope that he's just like talking here for whatever reason. Because I don't think like, what is this person saying? Why stop at 100 million? A billion? I think right here he's joking because he has the laughing emoji. So, fair to him. But, what do you need 100 golden visas for? It sounds like criminal organizations. Okay? And you don't need $100 million to fight the White House. You've already been one of the most paid athletes to ever exist. You had all these companies and stuff. I know, like, people in the TikTok comments were saying he probably is in debt to the Irish mob or something like that due to, his, like, allergies, his sniffling allergies. And that's why he has to do all that. That's why he wants $100 million. I hope that this is just a little thing he throws out here, maybe to get some publicity on himself. But if he is serious, then he's not on the card. Because what can Dana White do other than talk to the president about getting 100 golden visas? And do you think the president's really going to be like, you had to be in now. They would have to start now doing background checks and everything else on these 100 people for the 100 golden visas. And I don't see the point because it's an investment. Unless Conor McGregor is using that money and investing it himself and like putting the money into these people, then what's the point? You could have just said visas, but you say specifically golden visas. It's so corny. This dude's a whole cornball. And it gets even worse later in this video. Just wait. So, yeah, like I said, we don't even know if he can perform. And I've said this time and time again. Conor McGregor is getting KO'd, TKO'd within 3 rounds. If it's like a main event, it doesn't go to championship rounds. He might make it to the second round against Michael Chandler. And people don't think highly of Michael Chandler, and I can see why. But at the same time, Michael Chandler, like health-wise, compared to Conor McGregor, whenever you have the sniffles, you perform way less. You perform not as good as you used to. Think of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a guy that's had the sniffles and some other issues, had to go to rehab, didn't perform the same after that. Recently lost to Jake Paul really bad. I think he lost to Uriah Hall or something, or maybe he won against Uriah Hall, but he had some really bad performances after he had the sniffles. That's what's going to happen here. Conor McGregor's going to come in. He's going to look like a ghost of himself. You see this training footage, and I'm not impressed. Shut up. It's all copywritten music. Shut up. Okay, hang on. I can just mute this one. But although he might show off this pad work, you look back at the day whenever he was young and hungry, and his like sparring footage was elite. And we've seen his sparring footage recently. I don't see anything impressive by it. And I don't know what we're going to be doing here with him. I want to see new sparring footage of Conor McGregor closer to the date, like in February. What's he looking like around then? What's he looking like 8 weeks out from the event? Is he looking fresh? Is he looking like new, reformed? Probably not. It's not even reliable that he's going to be there. He had a toe injury and ducked Michael Chandler. Although toe injuries I kind of get, whatever. At the same time, this is Dana White's like my guy, the guy I can rely on. Dude, you couldn't rely on before. He hasn't even hasn't even did the tough contribution yet. He hasn't even finished that series off. We've had another tough season or two since that. You know, it's insane. Anyway, I want to see new sparring footage later in time to see if he actually looks any better. I'm not a big analyst or whatever, but I guess we'll see in the future. I just don't really care what people have to say. They're a bunch of glazers. Next. Mike Perry, he says this about Mike Perry. Him and Mike Perry have some beef for whatever reason, and Conor McGregor is completely delusional and doesn't understand that. I just don't understand what's going on here. So let's read it. He says, Mike Perry is back to bare knuckle on October 4th, New Jersey on a trial basis only. If you don't know, Conor McGregor supposedly fired Mike Perry. I don't know if they actually did that or not. I don't think there's like a roster tracker for BKFC, right? So I don't know if he actually was fired, but he's been like doing a bunch of promotion. He's been a part of some recent like press conferences with a bunch of fighters and all the champions, and he's trying to fight. I don't know if it's Jeremy Stevens or who. I think it is Jeremy Stevens. And Conor McGregor has this to say. If he underperforms, I sack him again in front of 17,000 fans. Now, this is, like, look at, like, the like. I love the like to, view ratio because it's horrid. It's terrible. But, look, Mike Perry means so much more to bare knuckle than Conor McGregor ever did. Conor McGregor is just a part owner. I don't know who would ever think, hey, let's give the guy at the sniffles an opportunity to fire Mike Perry, the guy that's basically the face of BKFC, the guy that means more to BKFC than half of the roster. BKFC needs Mike Perry, and this just shows that Conor McGregor isn't a businessman. Didn't his alcohol company just fail recently? I wonder why. I think it's because of some other issues with his friend or something like that. Either way, Mike Perry means so much to BKFC, and someone said it right here. I sack him again. Conor is really out here playing fight promoter like he's Vince McMahon. Just go back out there and be yourself, champ. If anyone's talking about performances, Conor McGregor needs to go out and actually perform. I'm so tired of this corny act where, for whatever reason, he had power to fire Mike Perry. As this guy says, Perry is more important to BKFC than you are, my dude. You know, we're going to talk about underperforming. You haven't fought in years. When you were fighting, you were on a multiple-year losing streak. That dude fought... Didn't he, lose to Khabib? I can't remember when he did the boxing match. I think it was after the Khabib loss. Came back, fought Cerrone. Next year, he fights Dustin Poirier twice. Loses both times. It's just sad, man. It's sad that we have a corny Conor McGregor. And this is the dude that we have to deal with now. This is the guy who is obviously out of his mind. Probably going to lick his lips again at some point in that. Golly, dude, he's so far gone. And we're supposed to trust this guy to be the main event of UFC White House. Put some champions up there. I will do my own video. I love this one too. I have so much aggression built up that I must release. Bro. Don't say Conor McGregor. You can't say you have so much aggression built up to that you must release, bro. We know how you release it. Okay. Oh my goodness, bro. And he just says all this weird schizo stuff, just this weird CTE rotting stuff. But it's insane. the first four. And, like, it just sucks, man. I'm tired of Conor McGregor acting like he's, like, still this big name. I'm tired of him basically sitting out and being like, $100 million. That better be negotiable, because if it's not negotiable, then he's not on the card. I feel like he's asking for way too much money. You know, of course he's already asking for way too much money, but at the same time, what are we doing? It's just, I can't stand this new Conor McGregor. People are so stuck on the past. This is the guy that you all have to deal with now. Ow. This guy that completely just cheats on his wife constantly is seen as just a party man that used to be like partiness is a weakness for the soul. A shell of himself. A man that is just not himself anymore. That's so far gone. For whatever reason, got to fire one of the main guys of a promotion that he's part owner of. It's ridiculous. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. That's all I really have to say. Just wanted to come on here and rant about him a little bit. I have another video that I do want to do probably after the post-fight press conference Saturday. Goldberg versus Reyes, because there's a bit to talk about there. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Make sure to like and follow for more. More MMA videos out in the future. Just talking about random stuff, ranting, talking about news, and etc. And yeah, help me get to 1K on here. But one step at a time. Peace, peace.